All right, welcome back, chemistry fans, to the Chemistry 1032 problem-solving set. I am Dr. Betts, coming to you live from the Academic Success Center here at Broward College North Campus. In this problem, we are going to add and subtract measured numbers. Now, the rules for adding and subtracting are not the same as the rules for multiplication and division. Don't mix them up. In multiplication and division, we counted significant figures in each measurement, and then we rounded to the measurement with the least number of significant figures. In adding and subtracting, we don't do that. In adding and subtracting, it's the decimal points that matter. We have to round to the fewest number of decimal points that is reflected in the measurements. Now, that's a little confusing. So let's take a look at these three measurements. Here we have 1.256. That has 3 decimal places. This measurement also has 3 decimal places. The final measurement, 0.2 centimeters, only has 1 decimal place. So the rule says our final answer can only have 1 decimal place. Okay, so the rules are completely different when you're doing addition and subtraction versus multiplication and division. So here, let's get out our calculator. There we go. 1.256 plus 1.089 plus 0.2. The calculator tells us the answer is 2.545 centimeters. But we have to look at that number and scrutinize it. We know this has 3 decimal points, this number or measurement has 3 decimal points, but this measurement only has 1 decimal point. So that means my final answer can only have 1 decimal point. Well, the answer would be 2.5 centimeters. Now, how did I come up with that? Well, this is my first decimal point right here. So I want to keep that digit. But I have to look at the next digit beyond it, which was a 4, so that meant the 5 did not round to a 6. So I kept it as a 5. I just used the regular rules for rounding. Okay? Now, this is an addition question, so I use the rules for addition and subtraction, not multiplication and division. I keep harping on that because that's a very common error. People will use the wrong rules when they're adding or subtracting. They'll use the rules for multiplying and dividing. Don't do that. Avoid that, because you don't want to lose points on an exam for a silly little mistake like that. Okay? All right. Let's try the next one. Okay, here we have 3 measurements in milliliters. So let's look at this measurement first. This measurement has 1, 2, 3 decimal places. And we're doing a subtraction, so we're going to use the rules for subtraction. 1, 2, 3 decimal places. This number has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decimal places. And this, our final measurement, doesn't have any decimal places at all. It's just the whole number 1. All right. So now, what does that tell us? That tells us that in our final answer should not have any decimal points at all. It should just be a whole number. Okay? So let's take the calculator out. Start typing in some numbers. 23.456 minus 0.34232 minus 1 equals. So the calculator tells us 22.11368 milliliters. Now, we have to round this properly. Again, the rules for addition and subtraction say our answer has to reflect the number of decimal places in the measurement with the least number of decimal places. Here we have 3 decimal points, here we have 5, and here we don't have any. So because this measurement doesn't have any decimal places, our final answer can't have any either. So this decimal point and all the ones behind it are going to go away. The final answer is 22 milliliters. And I like to put squares around my final answers. Okay? Now, if you have any trouble with this, or you're still confused about how I came up with these values, please do not hesitate to contact a tutor at the Academic Success Center for help, or come and see your professor in their office hours. Don't let this slide by. This is a very important concept in chemistry and in science. And I do hope this video has been helpful, and I wish you good luck and good chemistry.